All right, so I guess we are experiencing technical difficulties. We had a power surge just now and everything went out. Kayla, thank you for being back over here. I think the other live, it's still going. YouTube is still processing it. And the problem is when that happens and they process another live, when I go live here, people are going to still be connecting to the other live because it's still running. So they're connecting to the other live thinking that's where I'm at. And that is not where I'm at. I'm over here. So I hope the people have come back this morning so we can continue this talk. It's the freaking weekend, baby. We got a lot to say before we send everybody off into a wonderful weekend. All right, so come in, people, come in. Morning, Nicole. Thank you for being here. Who's that? Keller C1. Keller says, you know I'm always present. I appreciate you greatly. I appreciate you greatly. We just had a couple hundred people on here this morning and the live just went off. But we've been having a lot of rain in Florida, my part of Florida. We actually had rain all night from about 9 p.m. back to 6 a.m. No stopping, with heavy winds that blow away people garbage cans and all that other stuff. That was last night and tonight. And so the weather ain't the best. And it looked like the power went out, and it went out and came right back, but it shocked the system. So here we are. A lot of people right now are tuning into the next video, but I am going to continue with what I was saying. So I was talking about your circle, and I was saying that if you're between the ages of 30 and 50, and your circle is still talking about party and clothes and shoes, Dolce & Gabbana, and name brand stuff and cars, then you might want to switch your circle up. If they're not talking about investments, business partnerships, if they're not talking about committed relationships, if they're not talking about that type of stuff with longevity to it, then you're in the wrong circle. All right. Now, with that said, I hope I can save the other video because I already explained all that, how I feel about that. And I would like to go into the other topics that I have. Speaking of bad weather, shout out to Texas. I think I'm gonna have to kill that live. Shout out to Texas. Texas ain't doing too good right now. Texas is not doing too good right now. Let me put a message. Okay, Texas isn't doing too good right now. People are experiencing freezing weathers. Their pipes are frozen. Their toilets are frozen. They can't flush the toilet. They have no running water. People are sleeping outside in their cars just to get some heat. Bun B said yesterday that they just put out a cry for help, basically, city authorities asking for a refrigerated truck so they can store bodies. They have 20 dead bodies right now that they have nowhere to store the bodies on or in. It's looking bad. At the same time, Ted Cruz, which is the governor of Texas, he knows that his state is going through this. He lives in Texas. And what did he do? In prime politics, in prime politician fashion, what he did was took his family on a vacation down to warm Mexico. And when they go to Mexico, they go to like the private beaches, and them have the warm sunshine, and they have room service catering, and they have maids for the children. Them get the white gloves treatment. In while his state is going through this, he jumps on a plane. So he's back from Texas now, and when his plane landed, he had to have armed police officers escort him from the landing to wherever he went to go hide. He has come out in the news to say that he was just being a good father, because after being in Texas and experiencing this cold weather, no electricity for 2 days, his children started looking at him and saying, Daddy, can't we go somewhere else? Can we go somewhere else? So he was just being a good dad. And that is why he ran away and left his state to suffer while he went on a Mexico vacation. Hear what? I don't know who's going to believe that. Like him, the governor, he lives in mansions. They live in mansions. He lives in a mansion. There's the governor's mansion for one, and then I'm sure he has personal mansion. I'm sure they have generators and backup systems for his personal home as well as for the governor's mansion. So where was your daughter saying, Daddy, can't we go somewhere? Your pipes weren't frozen. Your stuff wasn't backed up. You could flush your toilet still. You had heat. You had running water, right? This is what he has come out to the media to say. He came out to the media and said, I was just being a good dad. What a good dad, when your daughter looks at you with those eyes and she says, and he almost had me, you know, the man almost had me, because that's how I am with my daughters. If my daughters, if I could tell them no all day, and my 6-year-old knows it, because she'll just come and do like this. Please. And when she go, please, I can't say no, right? So he almost got me with that. And a lot of people are going to believe that. But no, you have resources. You have millions of dollars. You're not experiencing what the regular people are experiencing, man. But this is, that's why I say pray for Texas, man, because they're going through it really, really bad right now. And again, this is why I say that God has his, man, listen, God has his hand on my life, okay? For sure. Because if y'all know, I am licensed in Texas, and usually when you see when you see us doing those videos away from home and stuff, that's because I'm in Texas. I've been to so many places in Texas. I just named, what, 14 of them for you the other morning. All these places are places that I went in Texas and worked at facilities at, and so on and so forth. I would be in Texas right now. I haven't been in Texas since this whole pandemic hit. And something said to me, you know, I don't want to get up and preach and say the Holy Spirit didn't move me or anything, but something said to me, leave Texas, go home to Florida and work on working from home. Establish a home business. That way, if anything happens, you're good from home. All the people who are going through it, because, you know, you go to work and then now they're telling you things are slow, we don't have enough hours for you, and now your paycheck dwindled down to can barely get by. Those kind of things are happening. Businesses are closing. People are losing their jobs, all kind of stuff. It never happened to me because I got that warning in my spirit. I got that warning and I heed that warning. And I left Texas and I came back to Florida. And then boom, pandemic hit. And I'm like, oh my God, I would have been right there, because Texas got hit really hard. And for those of us who work in the medical field, you already know it's a paranoid feeling going to work when something like this is happening, because you have to deal with everybody that is ill. So no matter how much face mask you put on, no matter how much fix you fix up, in the back of your mind, you're still thinking, God, please, because we don't want to catch this. And if I catch it and bring it home to my family, you know, I have a daughter in the house that just born. She just turned 7 months now. At the time, she would have been brand new, or wifey would have been pregnant, or I have a pregnant spouse in the house. I have other little children. I didn't have to worry about any of that. I was home long enough. And I said to myself, if I can work this hard for other people, wake up at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning and get dressed and get everything together and go over patient treatment notes and all this stuff and hit the ground running when I hit the facility, I can do all this for myself as well. Put the same energy into it. So I came home and I put the same energy into home businesses and online business, and I was good. Within a couple of months, I started seeing where I am really good, to the point where I can say, okay, take a break, spend some time with family more, work from home some more. And then the pandemic hit. And then the pandemic got worse. And then they went into lockdown everywhere, to mask wearing, to people losing their jobs. And I said, look at this. And I would have been right there. And now, with all this freezing stuff going on, I would have been right there again. Look how the cars, did y'all see the video? With the semi that ran over all those vehicles and all the cars that crashed up on it, that was in Texas. That was in Texas. A lot of people who don't travel, when you say Texas, they think of cowboy hats. We call them shit kicker boots, pointy boots with the spur on the back, tight jeans. Yeah. Hey, boy, what you doing around here? That's what they think when they think of Texas. People riding on horses. Now, people still ride on horses. A guy will pull up to you in traffic in a populated city. Like, they'll pull up to you in traffic on a horse, and there'll be a bunch of them, and they'll wait for the green light, just like you waiting for the green light. When the green light go, they off with the horse. It still happens in Texas, but Texas is not what you think it is for those of you who've never been there. Yes, they do have that culture there still, but it's very much different. Okay, it's very urbanized now. It is. I would even say the people in Texas are even nicer than the people in Florida. I was expecting. I even told the agency when I was taking the contract. I said, "Listen, I don't want to be put in a place where my kind is not welcome." She said, "Trust me, I took that into consideration. You're going to love where I'm sending you." And I'm driving out to Texas and I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't see no human life out here. I see cows and fields and hay, and wifey with me, and she's like, where are we going? And then we get there and it's a joy. Okay, so it's different. It's different. But Texas is under some stress right now. And this lying governor. But you know what happened to Texas? Just a little FYI in education. Texas was the state that seceded from the Union. That's why they have that 1 star. They say they stand alone. They have that 1 star. So Texas is big on, we don't want government to control anything. We don't want government to run anything. Privatize everything. Let the citizens have their way, right? Privatize the prisons, privatize the electrical grids, the supply of electricity, privatize the supply of water. We don't have that in Florida. So FPL, like Florida Power and Light, is controlled by the state of Florida. It's not a private business. So when hurricane come through, blow down all your wires, it is on the state, it is on the government. That's why they get people in there right away. The place is flooded with workers trying to get us up, back and running again. In Texas, everything was privatized. That's what's going on. And Bumby explained it yesterday. So all these different places have different water suppliers. All these different places have different electricity suppliers. Your neighbor could have somebody different than you for water, for electricity. So when your water goes out or your lines are frozen and they're not prepared for this kind of weather. When your lights go out or your lines are frozen, you can't flush the toilet, you can't turn on the sink, you have no running water, and the state is issuing, or the state is issuing a no drink. I think my wife read it to me yesterday. It says, don't drink the water. Don't. You out there, babe? She said, don't drink the water. Don't even wash your face with it because parasites have been found in the water. Right, because parasites have been found in the water. So on top of all that, everybody is going to have to go call somebody different. So you see, big government sometimes really ain't that bad. You need the government to step up and control some things. Because where are these private owners, these CEOs of these companies right now? Where do you think they're at? They jumped on a private jet and went to somewhere warm. They're probably in Florida right now. They're probably in Florida right now with their families. Oh, let's get out of here. Let's go to our vacation beach home. It's 85 degrees in Florida right now. So gone and left the people and they're dying. They're freezing. They're sleeping outside in their cars, keeping the car running. They're dying from carbon monoxide poisoning right now in big America right now. First world country, right? Right now. Sometimes it's good to just let government do some things and take control of some things. You know what I'm saying? But say a prayer for Texas, man. Shout out to my people in Texas. Texas is my money ground. The money is so good in Texas, I can't even explain to you. When you see me back in Texas, just know say I'm touching money and I'm laughing inside. Every time I check my account, I'm like, you know, it's good. It's good. Shout out to the people and I play in Texas. Yeah, I play in Texas. There's a lot of stuff to get into in Texas. The money is good, but damn. So shout out. I'm not going to use Texas for all that and then be over here saying, I sympathize with the people there, man. I sympathize with the people there. I'm just glad I wasn't caught up in it, in any of it. Because I got that urge to like, something's going to happen, something's coming, move. And I did. And then all this happened, right? Boil the water first. Boy, it's not even a boil water order. I think it's a don't use the water period order. Now, so we ran through the whole circle thing this morning. It's Friday. You need to cut some people off. All right. Let me reiterate one more time. If you're in your 30s, between 30 and 50, that's your age group, your bracket, right? And you are still in a circle that talks more about turn up, party, clothes, shoes, name brand, and cars. And you guys haven't accomplished all the other things. And they are not talking about investments, business partnerships, and committed relationships. Then you need to switch up your circle. We talked about that already. We talked about Texas and Texas governor and how things are privatized in Texas and how they're hurting right now. People are losing their lives, and Ted Cruz, which is their governor, takes his family on a Mexico vacation, and then he comes back and speaks to the media saying that he was just being a good dad because his daughter said, Daddy, can't we go somewhere else after 2 days? So he flies out from his mansion to a nice, warm, tropical place. All right. The one I really wanted to talk about, and I thought it was really funny, was a situation that happened yesterday with my son. So I headlined it, male caught in a female body and female caught in male's body. I'm pretty sure that 30, 40, 50 years from now, the next generations, they're going to look back at how we were now. Even us, if we're still alive, are going to look back 100 years from now. Those people will look back at us and think, man, they were slow. Like they were developing, but they were behind. Look how far we've come. If a lot of us could look back 20 years right now, look back 20 years. Do you remember what the cell phone looked like? Right? We had payphone on every corner and these kind of things. Only certain people carried them big old cell phone there and these things. This whole man trapped in a woman body stuff. You know, there are a lot of people, especially within the Caribbean diaspora, right, who we were raised a certain way. And we were raised to think that it's choices. And it comes from biblical teachings as well, where it says that, no, they made that choice. God has left them up to their own lust and their own, the reprobate of their own lust and mind and all this other thing. Brick phone. We are taught that. But as we advance into the future, we have come to know different. We have come to know about chemical imbalances. We have come to know about people being born with two genitalias, both of them. And if me come on earth with a penis and a pum-pum, who are you to tell me which one I'm supposed to use? Kind of uncomfortable talking about, but we are going to get into that because that's what I do. I love uncomfortable. So here we are, right? And I said to myself yesterday, you know, children, it was reaffirmed to me yesterday. So when we hear us in the Caribbean diaspora, when we hear people say that, or we see a girl that's trying to live like a man, yeah, I want big guy, that's enough. Yeah, nasty girl. Some people class them up and say stuff like, and then when you go talk to the person, they tell you that, listen, and she's like, yo, I'm gonna tell you something. And her voice deeper than yours, or she's more manly and aggressive than you as a man, and these kind of things. You know, some of them overdo it, but it's the confusion within the body. It's like, yo, I'm a man, I'm trying to escape, but I'm in a woman's body, but I'm trying to escape. So they talk to you like DMX, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what up? You good? All right. Like that. When you see them like that, it ain't always a choice. It's not always a choice. A lot of the times, it's not a choice. I saw them born. And when they try to explain that to us, we're like, nah, foolishness, that's the choice. Or somebody influenced them from them did young and all these things. I've proven this over and over again with my own children, right? I remember my oldest son, who is now 18. Him used to go to school and just grab people, girl, pick me and kiss them in their mouth. And then I'd get calls from the school. But we were in, because he was born into the military. So we were in a military environment where all the families knew each other. And we have what's called FRG meetings or FRG groups, family readiness groups. So we all know each other, right? My kids play with your kids. We do barbecue at my house this weekend, your house next weekend. And we keep it tight like that in the military, because when the orders come down and all the men ship out, because we got to go to war or combat or peacekeeping mission, whichever, all the wives are left at home with the kids. We need the wives to be close to each other for any kind of reason. One of the husbands might drop out and might get killed on a mission. She's going to need a team around her to support her. Her children are going to need a team to support them. Them kind of something there. So my son grew up in that environment. So when he was grabbing and kissing him little, you know, those parents didn't care. They would laugh too. The first time we ran into a problem was when he went to a civilian school outside of the military environment. And when he did the same thing. Brought him to Florida. You know, I'm trying to get set up in Florida, put him in school here, and then grab a little girl, a little white girl to, you know. And y'all seen my little melanated king. He ain't little no more. He's a 6-footer now. But him come grab a little white girl. And same thing he's used to doing. And I got a call, boy. And when I went, the other parent left a long letter of how ticked off they were, and they wanted to press charges and all this other stuff. And I'm like, it's a 6-year-old, bro. Calm down. Is that the youth just knows that, but I couldn't explain it to him like this. The little youth just knows him like girls. See? And he'll come home and say, yeah, daddy, I have a girlfriend. And I'm like, you got a girlfriend? What kind of girlfriend you got? I never know until I get the phone call. Him there at school, I kiss people, girl picnic. But he kissed the daughter of someone that was a racist. And they were pissed. All right? They were ticked off. So it's in these children from young, which way them are going to swing. So when you see the little boy and him going like this and that, and then and him talk with broken wrist and everything, and you get there try to beat it out of him. Now beat it out of you because no, that's not the way you to go. And all the beat they beat, them still end up the same way as adults. You couldn't beat it out of them. Some people grab them and pray and try to exorcise demons. And oh God, please take this spirit off of him. Them still end up the same way. And then other people around are saying, yeah, we saw it since he was like 2. Or we saw it since she was like 3. Yesterday, we at the beach. Me I walk with wife, right? And me I walk with wifey and Kai, and she has the baby in the carry thing. You know that carry thing that African woman invented? That they don't want to say they invented, but they copied it. You see white ladies now carrying their babies on their back and strapping them. All they did was went to Africa, them see the model, they came back and said, okay. And then they modernized it, you know, engineer it different and little stronger and better. Now you can strap them, secured straps. And so she carried the baby. Me and Kai, we are running up and down, we're frolicking in the sun because it's warm here still. Sorry to my people that live in the cold weather. It's warm here still. It was about 85 degrees yesterday. Hot, could have jumped in that water. We're frolicking on the beach and still, I look up, I hear music. Now you got Florida girls, some of the white girls in Florida, they're ratchet, they're real hood, and they like black dudes playing on straight, no other way. So they up there, they're doing their thing, rap music, turn up loud, you know, they shaking it, they shake, they carrying on it. You know how the girl them do, right? They shaking it, they carrying on. Me look up and I see 2 G-string and 4 body peg. But you know, you with wifey, so you can't really look. So me do something like this. You know, when you get the one look and just keep your head straight again, and then they say something bad about them, look on them too. Whatever do that for? But in your mind, you're like, I want to look again because, yeah, not that they look good really, but we just want to see because me a man and, you know, G-string and, I mean, so anyway, not to complicate things and get myself in a trouble. Now, Kai is looking. But I didn't think nothing of it. So we walked past them and we're going about with business, walk down the beach. And on our way back, this little boy, They're up there now. This time they're not dancing. They're laid down on their bellies, buns in the air, suns out, buns out, Florida style. Yeah, suns out, buns out. They're in the air. Remember, I know them now. We're nothing, you know. They about to peg them up in the air and everything. And the way how they were situated, they were like on a little hill. We down yourself, so you can't understand the angle where we are see the things them from. You know, them lay down, leg spread out, belly down, and these things, buns up, and this is Kai. This is Kai. Remember, Kai's two. This is Kai. We're coming down the beach, and I see Kai go so and do a one take. Let me see him do a two take. And I'm thinking to myself, he's probably just looking in that direction him now. But then we realize that the youth are look. That's all. Kai couldn't hold his urges. Kai run up the hill right to where they were at and stood right next to them. And I'm thinking, I was saying, nah, he's probably just going up there to run back down. Him go up the hill, him stand up there, and he was like this. It's as if this 2-year-old was checking out the two bums, and he was like, the one that tick, but the one that look better. But like him, and he checked it out for a while, right? And I hear me now. I said, Kai, come on. Like, you know, leave people alone. Like, come. Not coming. Not coming. And then he proceeded to go all the way the wrong way. I had to run him down yesterday. See, wifey up on here, I had to run him down, right? The boy gone. So I'm saying that when you see certain people live in a certain way, in certain lifestyle, doing certain things, if you check back with the people who have known them all their lives, they will tell you this. Yeah, man, from him little. So him did still. And it's funny because that's the same way I was. And I remember hearing my mom saying, yeah, I'm gonna like big body woman, you know. Because it was an innate thing. It was born in me. From me did like this little. Now it didn't help that I had uncles and even my dad that used to be like, you know, they're riding around with you in the car and they throw you shotgun and you that little man that's riding along and them out there. I talk about, yo, Sean, look on the one there now. Yo, Steve, look on the one there now. Yeah, you see that? You see that? Look how she move. I had uncles like that, and my dad was like that too. He used to be like, look on the one there, so she move. Sexy, you know. So them thing that in me from like them age there. But it was naturally in me already. And I remember hearing my mom say that when I was little. And now that I'm grown, it's actually really that. It's actually, my wife will tell you, right? If she walk around the house too much, my eye did that all the time. And it's not like, oh, I just want to jump on her all the time. It is just something about the way that a woman who has a shapely body moves that just does something to me. It's good to look at. It's like when you turn on the TV and you see a good movie and you're like, yes, I'm ready. You're like, cock up your foot them on couch and you're ready. It's just, I saw the thing go. So it's a blessing and a joy to have that in the house where I can see it all the time. You know, and wifey, she wicked because she do something sometimes like I put on some little something and then they're on there and talk about, oh, I dropped that and bend over and them something that, and me now just can't, you know, but it's in people. It's in people. Remember when AIDS came out? When AIDS first came out, people are running from people, you know, as soon as they hear, oh, I have AIDS, whoosh, other side of the building. Forget other side of the room. They didn't want to be in a room with you. Other side of the building. People are running from you. Healthcare workers were sliding people's food under the door. Instead, they won't even open the door to check on them. Now look at where we're at. So as we understand the human condition more, we're going to move to a place where we understand that some people just born so. And if we're the same people that are going to say God makes no mistakes, then who are we to say, yeah, but you was a mistake? Or, oh, you born with 2 parts? Cut one off. You act like a man, so you're a man. Sew up the vagina, shut it up. Or you act like a girl, so cut off the penis. No, them come with 2 parts. I feel them think that, I guess for them, nature or creator was saying, go whichever way you choose. Go both ways if you choose. enjoy everything. I don't know. But that is what is, it's not our place. You know what I'm saying? Sharon Smith, thank you. I appreciate you greatly. Sharon says, good morning and good morning, family. Was trying to stay awake, but I can't. You see, still talking about the beach. Laugh out loud. I'm dead. Laugh out loud. Batty peg. Yes, Kai. All right, Sharon. I appreciate you greatly. Go get some sleep. Sleep is very important. All right. And bless up yourself. Listen up. The youth was like analyzing him, run over to the people them, and these girls down there, they're like, oh, he's so cute and all this other stuff. But the youth know him one from early. And this is not the first time I've seen him do that. Because if him see a little girl, he always like stopping his tracks. And them I check him out, but him I check them out too. And I'm like, he's two. He's two. So back to the human condition. It is what it is. It is what it is. It ain't our place to say who for what and who for what. You just know yourself and know which road you depend, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? It is a choice for some, and we can talk about who get into certain lifestyles for finances. I was watching a video out of Jamaica, and the female, which is she's one of them female that will talk to you like DMX, and yo, what up? And she's a deportee. She's a deportee. She got sent back to Jamaica. She left Jamaica very young, got sent back. Don't remember the name of the video, but I remember her saying one thing, and she was like, life don't get hard. You hear that? Enough people claim them have it good and all that, but life hard regardless, as far as paying bills and standing on your own. So if you don't have somebody to lean upon, you see me? Enough of them get deported when them reaching at the place, them have to turn lesbian and them have to turn Batman because when them are going to sleep and you know, somebody will feed you and clothe you and give you a place to stay and all this. Somebody said like Tanya. Which Tanya? Don't say Tanya Stevens no. Because you know what? Because you know she's very vocal. If she tell off Andrew Holness and all them, what do you think she's going to do to poor little SouFLo? So don't say Tanya Stevens. I wish you could have treat me like a Glock. Hit me when the waves them a rock. That Tanya there? Stay upon me like your corner. Put your lips upon me like your marijuana. That Tanya? Don't say it. Blessings Johnson says, me lucky said, kind of a touch the bottom peg them. No, I was calling his name out, man. I was hoping he didn't. I was like, Jesus Christ. Jesus. But Kai's not a touchy person. And the funny thing about Kai also is he's not a people person like that. Kai born in at the time, right after Kai born, you know, quarantine, liquor more and all this. So Kai is like with mommy and daddy all the time. Kind of know nobody else outside of us like that. So he's very about anybody else, even family members. He's just close to his siblings because his siblings are around him all the time, either on FaceTime or in person. So he's close to them. And even his siblings, he takes time to warm up to, but know them good. So for him to run to strangers and just turn up there and stare upon Batty when he's normally the kind of kid that runs away. Like if people say hi to him, if he says hi back, you're lucky. But if him say hi back, he's saying hi while running towards the opposite direction. That's how he is. He's really shy, like when it comes to people. So if you see him reach up there and there, that was like, okay, the youth know what he wants. You know what he wants. It's in him. It's innate. From my own life experiences to seeing it in his older siblings to him now, I am convinced. Learning more about the human condition, and I am convinced. We learn every day, right? And the best teacher is life. Forget what man say and out a book and all that. We need all that knowledge too. But you can look at life and learn from life. The best teacher is life. And I've learned that people are actually born with an innate push-pull, whichever way they're going to go kind of thing. See? And shout out to the people them who like to rough up the picnic them and beat them up and me. I go beat it out of you. And don't do it. Don't do it. And it's kind of hard for a dad. Cause no man me know. I don't know not one man And I don't know any women either that says, yeah, I can't wait for my son to grow up and turn a Batman and have a boyfriend and, you know, two of them come stink up one room over there. So, and I've never heard anybody say that. Usually parents procreate and they hope to see the same in their children as their children move on into life and get partners and yes, we have grandkids now and all this. That's what they normally look forward to. That's what we normally look forward to. So it's kind of hard telling especially Caribbean dads, yeah man, don't worry about that man. If I saw him stay, him girly from him little, just know say I saw your son I go stay. You know what I said? Don't beat it out of him, don't rough him up like that, because that's not gonna get rid of it. Because our thing is this, no, man I fit in the house. And when you put the foot down and you steer them the right way, listen, there's enough of these people come from two parents home. And daddy tried all he could to steer that boy in a man direction. And no matter, the more he tried, is the more the other side of his son came out. Till them start fight. Till some of them go road and left home early. Because they would rather be homeless than to conform to what it is you are trying to do for them or to them. You know what I'm saying? So, and for women, it's a bit easier because she always looks and she's like, yo, that's my child. I don't care what Bible said. I don't care what the father said. I'm a pick that and I'm gonna love my youth for the rest of my life. And me bring him come here. And me push him out. So if I that's how him go, me know I feel like him lifestyle neither. I don't understand his conditions, but me I gonna love him for the rest of his life. He can still call and him no call and say, yo, mommy, all right, no more. Him call and say, hey mom, how you doing? Yeah, me and Ronnie over here. We about to go have a vacation. You all right? You know, them go extra. And mommy, I go just join in with it. She go just know say I saw her son stay. She love him same way. But daddy I go stew about it. See? Somebody asked me, they said, SouFlo, if one of your son them decides say, this is me. This is going to be me. What you would have do, SouFlo? Here's my thing. I don't have to like your lifestyle. I'm your dad for life. I would rather know, say, my youth safe, whether they're children or adults. I would rather know, say, my youth safe. Now, you got to understand this is a controversial stance among Jamaican men or Caribbean men, because if you ask majority of them right now, him say, me that this one that blouse or skirt, that shirt, that unbuckle. No, not in my house, not around here. I used to be like that too. At this point in life, decades later, I would rather know that my youth safe than to know that my youth cut all communication with me and is out there in the world suffering. Those of you who have been out in the world and suffered and been through some real shit, you know that you don't want none of your children to ever experience any of that. Some people that get raped already, get chopped up, get all kind of something done to them, right? Backstabbers, left, right, and center, abusers, just because they didn't have no one to turn to. Not necessarily because they were, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to subject my youth them to any of that, whether children or adults. So I'm always going to be here as that parent. Here's what I'm going to tell my son, though. You can't bring no man come here, come lock up in no room. It can't happen in my house. See? You cannot bring no man come here to lock up in no room, sleep in no room together, none of that stuff. You see me? But other than that, you're always welcome home, son. Always. I don't like how you stay. I might tell him, say, put a little more bass in your voice, now dog, when I talk to me. Yeah, go up in the high pitch stuff. And them kind of something there. But when me ever say, when him said, Dad, I started taking my hormones. You know, that's the breast of us. And where you ever say? You see? I might still be, because I got to be honest, I was raised a certain way. So I might still, that part of me might still come out every now and then when he's around. Like, yo, fix up your voice, brother. Put some little bass in your voice. So I talk to myself. Wow. Yeah. And you know, we have a father-son conversation, but what can that father-son conversation be when his interest is like his mommy's interests? He's better suited talking to mom. Yeah? You're welcome home anytime. You just can't bring a man come lock up in another room, you know. It not gonna work. Me not have it. Me not having it. And I don't even care if science says and all this. Me just I would be honest with you, I would pay for a hotel close by. Put it that way. You coming to visit? You coming on your own? You say, yeah, Dad, I'm coming on my own. Come on home then. I mean, come have fun with the family and all that. We miss you. That type of stuff. I saw you have to love your youth, them, you know. And make them know so when the world is against them, you still here for them. See? Now, if he's saying, no, I'm not coming on my own, I'm bringing Reggie with me. All right. Where are you going to be staying? That's going to be my next question. Where are you going to be staying? So MK said, I'm staying at the house, Dad. No. Because when I go over there, there's a nice hotel down the street, right? Very nice hotel down the street. I'll make sure you get like the penthouse suite, or I'll make sure you get like the balcony view of the beach or something like that. I'll pay for it. I'll cover. That'll be my cost. You won't have to worry about that. Come on home. Bring Reggie with you. He can stay there and all that. Me no want to see none of that in my house. Just because there's that still part of me. Would I still love him? Yes. Would I disown him? Hell no. It's my child. See? And that's a deep conversation that we need to have, which is very asked right now to all the men that are on this. Right? I'm not even talking to the women. Just pay attention to this comment section right now. To all the men that are on here, here's my question to you. You have boys. You're a dad. Your boy shows these feminine qualities from a very young age. You try everything. Nothing never work. Him reach late teenage years now. I'm going to say late teenage hood now, but pun intended. Him reach a stage now, right, where you realize that, boy, adapt. Are you going to disown him? Cut him off? Tell him can't come at the house? Him have to leave? Or are you going to still love him and accommodate where you can? I'm going to say accommodate because we have to go make some adjustments. Yeah? It's not like if my daughter, she's grown, she's married, she's coming home, and she's bringing her husband or her fiance with her. I'm going to look at it different. You know what I'm saying? So that's me. But for the man them, I want to hear what Uno have to say. What doth thou do it? All right, let me read the comments then. No. Turnbull says, because you don't want them to get into any trouble. All right. Bro Shaka says, what if it was your daughter? Same thing applies. If it's my daughter, same rules apply. You want no girl now come lock up in there? Not here. I'll pay for the hotel. I'll do everything just like I'll do for the boy if he goes that way. I'm not going to disown her. She's my daughter. And man, listen, I have a different kind of love for my daughters too, man. Because I'm a black man. And I've seen how black women are actually treated. I've seen the level of respect that black women get out in the world. It's hard for black people, period. But the black woman being what we call the weaker sex when she is not, but what we call the weaker sex, she's had to endure plus endure. Like when they're shooting us down and killing us and all that, she has to grieve. She has to go through losing who came out of her womb. We just supply some sperm, you know, but she carried. That bond is never broken in life to death to next life. So I tend to treat my girls a little bit different, where I really don't think there's anything my daughters could do that will make me say, oh, man, I disown you. Definitely not that. If a fair thing that, a fair thing that. It just not going to happen in here. So. But I'm very like, my wife will tell you, man, when it comes to my daughters, like I don't play. if I'm over here in the other side of the house and I hear the weakest, like she cry too loud, me fling up everything and fly go over there quick. That's just how I am, especially when it comes. I'm like that with all my kids, but my girls are different. I can't say no to them. I try to say no, and even when I say no, I still end up giving them what they want because I feel guilty after saying no, because I just feel like they deserve that level of love, that level of protection, that level of. A lot of sisters grew up either without a father or with a father that wasn't really there or into them because he was more into the boys. So she was always neglected. A lot of our sisters grew up getting molested and all this other stuff. And I try to shield mine so much because I know what's out there. You know what I'm saying? So Mina, if it's my daughter, it's the same thing. Same thing. So some of the comments then say, oh, yeah, go to the wedding. Go to the wedding, brother. Boy, yeah, me go to the wedding. Me go to the wedding. If that's what they want, I will go to the wedding. My house is my castle, though. My house is my sanctuary, though. A different thing that. Only thing you're getting is some grand doodoo. Oh, my God. I feel them business that if they want to get grand doodoo, pop on for me. Tashika, we all know children are their own people, but as parents, we have to guide them and teach them right from wrong and let them know that is for when they grow up. Okay? See, that kind of reasoning there is what I'm talking about. Yes, we guide them in career choices. We teach them. We do. Some things are innate. And no matter how you, some people try to guide, listen to me. Some people, because there's a lot of abuse in the Black community because of this. Some people try to guide all the guide till they get angry because all the guiding is not working. Till they get angry and they start beating and then start praying and they're beating and praying and it not change nothing. Those are the people I'm talking about. It ain't changing nothing. You're not going to beat it out of them. You're not going to pray it out of them. You see me? Laugh out loud, SouFLo, really like your level of maturity for a young man. Patty Barn, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Me here says, yes, I agree. Send to the hotel. All right. Dorleen Walter Riley, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Dorleen says, what if it was your girl instead of the boy? Okay, so she was the one that posed that question. Now I pick up. All right. Maud Tumble says, because you don't want them to go out there and get into trouble, which is correct. And Bro Shaka says, what if it was your daughter? And I answered that. Partiman says, cut that off. These are the comments I'm going to get into. So the question was to the men that are tuning in this morning. You have a youth, and your youth, your male, decides, or even your daughter. Let's go both ways now. No pun intended. Let's go both ways now. Your daughter or your son decides that the same sex is my kind of thing. And that's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to live my life, Dad. I don't care if you like it or not. This is what it is for me. What y'all going to do? Are you going to still love them? Or are you going to cut them off? Partiman says, cut that off. Typical Caribbean stuff. Cut that off. Jazzy PH says, no man thing around here. Big man thing. Leave him from love him from a distance with support. And that's kind of what I'll be doing, from a distance with support. But he can always come home. Bro Shaka says, Dorian, me did I think the same thing. Coca British is laughing at Doreen. Tashika Wright says, I come to the reveal people are who they are. They are attracted to who they are attracted to. Pretty much. Pretty much. Still love them, main one says. Steve Blackwood says, y'all go to the wedding? I say yes, me I go to the wedding. If I that them I do, me I go. If they request my presence, could you imagine something so big as a wedding? A wedding. And you request the presence of your dad and he says, nah, not showing up to your wedding. Nah, so me say I deal with. Now come on your wedding. You know how hurtful that would be? And like I said, I'm not here to cause my children any hurt. They're going to remember me when they put me in the ground that, man, He didn't agree with my lifestyle, but he really stood by me. He even showed up to a gay wedding. Yeah, my dad who was like fire upon that and all that, put on his suit and showed up to my wedding. That's what I want him to be saying, crying on my grave. Like, oh God, I miss him so much. You see, in life, people, you have only a few people that are really gonna love you unconditionally. Everybody else is gonna love you with conditions. Some people's list of conditions are so long that the minute you breathe wrong, you're cut off, you're done, gone, left you. See? So I don't ever want my kids to believe that, oh, my dad loved me, but he got a long list of conditions, and I violated one of them conditions, and now I don't have a daddy anymore. I know where he lives at and everything, but we don't speak. I don't want that. Not in my life. See it? All right. Who that? Michelle Ward says, I agree with you also. Hugh Wilson says, love him anyway. Dad for life. That's a big man thing. I'm not knocking the ones who say cut him off. I'm just saying I used to be that as well. And given how we were raised, you know what I'm saying? Given how we were raised, it's easy to see why you would say, because I used to say the same thing too. D-Mac says, what kind of unnatural liberty SouFLo promote and highlight this morning? But Papa J. Fam, promote and highlight unnatural liberty. All right. So when somebody born with two parts, right? A human, let's talk how we are grown people. A human born with two parts, right? That's not natural. Is that not natural? Because there are lots of people that were born with two parts. So were those all not natural? And when them born with two parts, what is a natural life for them in your mind? Talk up. See? One Stop says, him can't bring Reggie close to my house. Reggie have to go stay around a walk, park around a walk, place around that stuff. You see me? And I will even pay for the place where Reggie never gonna stay. I want my picnic to come home. So if this is going to accommodate and make things easier, then yes. But yeah, no, it can't be like that. Can't be like that. It can't. So One Stop, me and you are on the same page with that one there. I have not evolved that much yet. I'm still a work in progress. Okay? Still a work in progress. Remember, I'm going to tell you something, I'm going to love him regardless. Nature Man says, love him as son, but him can't stay in my house. So your son, Nature Man. So you tell me, say your son couldn't stay in your house. Him said, Daddy, I'm coming home. I want to be home for the weekend. It's the holiday weekend. Everybody is going to be there. Y'all tell him no. Him can't come because him said, I just saw him there. Millionaires, big up yourself. Millionaires said, me not disown, but me not pay for no hotel. Understand the context, in which I have put it. Me not say I'm paying for hotel fee, man fi go catch man. I'm saying I'm paying for he wants to come home. You know how it is when you're going through college or whatever, your money tight and you depend on, family and whoever else can help out and you like a job and whatever because you have school studies are going and these things. And your son might say, hey, Dad, I want to come home for the holidays. He goes to school in another state. I want to come home for the holidays. Yeah? Are you going to tell him he can't stay at your house? But what if he says, but I'm going to bring my boyfriend? Are you going to just say, okay, listen, no, you can't come? No, I want to see my child. So I'm going to look at ways that I can make sure I see my child. It's selfish. I'm still a work in progress though. See it? So I will go do like a research and say, hey, there's a nice hotel that's close by. And I'll make sure that y'all get the balcony that overlooks the beach or something like that. And I'll put them up nicely. When your children are happy, you're happy too, man. There's no way a good parent could know that their children are out in the world going through the ish, and you just lay down in your bed comfortable at night. So kick up your big foot, the man, and change TV channel. I can't do it. I don't know how, but I can't do it. Libert Peart says, straight up, not gonna work for me. Love from a distance. You see how these love from a distance, let me read a couple more of them. No fishing at the house, Donovan Jackson says. Blouse or skirt. Front bumping. Natty Bowman says, I will love him or her still, but I will be disappointed and I will be ashamed. And that's honest. That's honest, because you know how we stay as Jamaican. See? How we stay. Listen, I had a friend, me used to throw a newspaper. See, and I had a friend, grown man, and I had a friend who he had a bunch of kids, but his son always was around the girls, and the girls would follow him, like even to their house, and he'll be like, yeah, LaDonnie, he was over here this weekend, had all these girls with him and stuff, real player type stuff. But Donnie, I asked him which one is his girlfriend, and he's saying none of them. And I'm like, none of them, with all these beautiful girls around you type stuff, and his son was a teenager, right, doing this. And a couple of us said, Donnie is one of the girls. That's why the girls hang out with him. He like, yeah, they in there doing nails and a talk, girl talk, and he the only guy in there. We say, yeah, Donnie is one of the girls. Say no more. Fast forward a couple of years, this youth came out on Facebook first. And when I saw his dad again, because I had stopped doing that job, but I seen him around town. When I saw his dad again, that's the first thing he said to me. And you could tell that he was carrying shame from it because he thought I had found out, but I hadn't been on Facebook, so I hadn't found out yet. I didn't find out till he told me. And when I went to go look on Facebook, I saw his whole coming out stuff. He came out and he was thanking his mom for always being there for him. And he could only talk to her, and he knows that this is going to break his dad's heart, but he has to live his true self and all this, and the youth come out. But us around him saw that. But you know, Jamaican man stay and Caribbean man stay. Boy, you have a Batman son, boy. Boy, that's in your genes. I know your genes that. No Batman in my genes. My sperm can't make no Batman picnic or can't make no gay picnic. And they will laugh and they will find ways to. So that in itself, even though you're laughing, is going to feel shameful. And like I said before, me don't know no man will ever say, yeah, me can't wait for my son to grow up and have a boyfriend. I don't know no man that says that. Because you yourself are into women. And you yourself have experienced the joy of procreating and seeing yourself again in these little children, the face and everything. Boy, she have my features. My little daughter looks so much like me. Man, I just can't stop saying it. Looking at her is like looking at a mini me kind of thing. So for me to grow up and then disown her, it'll be rough on me. It'll be rough on me. I really don't have an answer. Brian Belford said, for that, all I know is them not going to sleep in no room. And I agree. Not lock up in no room in my house. I have not evolved that much as yet. Maud Tumble says, you can't beat them because it is in them a long time. And the parents had seen the signs. Michael Bennett says, not in my house. That was so backward, intelligent, and ignorant. SouFLo, Kai's not seeing anything naked skin in the house. So that's why he was looking. No, sir, that's a lie. Kai see we're naked. Kai see us naked. So it feels kind of uncomfortable talking about. At some point, the conversation go different. When you gotta be careful when we're talking about kids. You know what I mean? Because some people will take it and twist your stuff and know you're oh, they're pedophiles. They might look about pedophilia. Me now do nothing in front of me picking them. But Kai seen us naked. He's seen his mama naked. He's seen his daddy naked. When I'm peeing in the bathroom, Kai be coming and looking there, and I say to Kai, I say, you got the same thing that I got, bro. And one day you're gonna be standing up and peeing just like this, but you're peeing in diapers right now. You need to learn to be potty trained, that kind of stuff. So that's how I deal with that. but him knows the man turn up and piss, and him daddy pull out him things and piss this up, and he be like, that's what we do. This face right here, it's exposing the bottom row of teeth and pulling it down over the top, like, and he does that every time I go in there. So he's seeing nakedness. He just knows what he's attracted to from an early age. Trust me. Trust me. There's this thing about life, right? There are things that women go through growing up, from girlhood into adolescent, female into womanhood, and it's the same thing with men. There are intricate details of each journey a woman will never understand. Same thing vice versa. A man will never understand. If a woman should plot her whole journey from girlhood to adolescent female into womanhood, there's a lot of stuff in there that you as a man will not understand. Same way, that's why I tell women, single moms can do their best to raise a child. They can even take on the role of, or try to take on the role of, and fill the void for dad being missing, or a male nurturer being missing, but they can never fill that void. They can never fill that void. And I've had females come at me and say, I don't know what y'all talk about, cause me play mommy and daddy for my picnic them. Yeah, you're playing daddy. You're playing daddy. You see the shortage and you're trying to fill the void as best as you can. I don't know about period cramps and all this stuff. So when my daughter go come now, if her mom's not around, and she's like, oh, my belly is hurting, and me, I got things, I go drink some tea, you have gas, you eat nothing from morning, you know what I'm saying? What did you eat earlier? Maybe that's what's hurting your belly. Me not gonna think, oh, period cramps. It's that time of the month, I have my period, and every time I have my period, I get these wicked cramps, and you know, my flow, I'm having a heavy flow this time. You start be like, me don't really want to hear all that still. Yeah, it's different. How a boy, I tell him mother, say, yo, wake up this morning and a wicked dream last night, stiffy, boom, bust off and I'm asleep, wet up everything, thick come everywhere. Oh, you having wet dreams. You know, there are different journeys, intricate details of different journeys. So a lot of men who burn a fire have experienced rape from a man, and it happened to a lot of men in Jamaica. And the hate is great. I always say this. A lot of men who are born on fire, or who are, anytime I see a heterosexual male professed that is overly concerned or overly aggressive about gay people life and them lifestyle, preoccupied overly, I always start look at that person with a different eye. You know what I'm saying? Like, me, I give them the side eye. I'm giving them the side eye. Because straight people don't really care about what gay people do. It's not our concern. I'm not concerned. I'm not bothered. I go where they go. I gravitate in them area they get when me I forget and come out. I move around them. I work with them. No feelings as far as any kind of prejudice towards their lifestyle or anything. We here to do this job. Let's get the job done. Okay, he's like this and him act like he like my sister. Hey, let's get the job done. Yeah, I'm never concerned about that type of. When we see people that talk about, yeah, and them are grunt and them are rub front and them are do this and them are do that, I'm like, you going into too much details. You must understand that I've said this before. Whatever you speak was in thought first. So you were really sitting there thinking, whether you check yourself, you were really sitting there thinking, visualizing, two girl a bump front. I saw you look. Oh, so them a bump. And then you put it in a comment. Everything that you speak or type went through your thought process. Me don't have time to think about what them do in a bedroom. And that's a lot. That's another thing. A lot of people are too preoccupied with the details. Oh, doodle penis and all this. You thought about that. Now that I've said it, because I've seen it in the comment section, my brain had to just process that before my mouth could I say it. So, you know, my meds now. This ain't a part of my conversation, my regular conversation. It's not a part of my concern. Me not care. Right? So I'm always skeptical about people that are like overly concerned and overly aggressive. And it's just like the people them. Yo, the sky blow outside in the dog. Yo, yeah, bottom man up. Big blood top bottom man. That's how they cuss me sometimes on social media. And I'm like, damn, I triggered something? Did I trigger something in you for you to, of all the things in the world you could have called me, that's the first thing came to your mind and came out your mouth? It's because that's what's in the forefront of your mind. That's what you've been thinking about. You didn't sit down and think about Batty all day. In your mind is Batty, 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 and the first person says something to you, you went, Batty man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, dream, and you're like, dream, I'm in Jamaica, I'm on the beach. Somebody wake you up and you're like, Jamaica. That's how they are, Batty man. Because that's what's on the front of your mind. So check yourself. A lot of you talking about bonfire this and the straight and treat and like arrow and man, y'all have some insecurities going on and some underlying issues that have nothing to do with the people that you're projecting this on. And like I said, in 20 more years to 40 more years, we will look back on where we have come scientifically, and we will realize, because we will know more. When I notice that every decade go by, we know way more than the decade before. Don't you notice how your kids could look at you and call you dunce because they have so much more knowledge now? And we were taught that certain things were a certain way when it's been proven now that anasoigo. But we still hold on to what we were taught, even though it's proven that that's not how it goes. Well, me not care. I saw my grandmother them raise me, so me I stay yasa. See? So we're going to be looking at stuff differently years to come. All right. May I read some of them comments here still? Maud Tumbo says you can't be overprotective or concerned. Oh, about their lifestyle? I thought you meant about my kids or about children. Me I gonna be overprotective and overly concerned about my kids for life. But about lifestyle and details of what they do, not overly concerned. I am not concerned at all. I don't want the details. I don't want to know the details. I don't want to have to speak about them. Me no want to know nothing about what them do. I don't want it to be a part of any conversation that I have. See? Oh, about lifestyle. Yes, you're right. You cannot be. You cannot be. And that's why those who are, I look at them kind of strange. I look at them. You know, living in the U.S. here, I've seen it happen many times before. And you guys have seen it too. There are actually politicians in position of power, right? That they put up a whole front. Wife, kids, a successful life. Looks like a successful businessman. Went to Ivy League university, graduated, top of the class, went on to be a successful politician. Now he's powerful. He's the governor of the state, blah, blah, blah. And then them catch him in a hotel room with a man, two of them naked. That kind of stuff. So, and when the laws were put on the books, he was one of them that was out there championing the cause in front of everybody, that was saying, go look it up on Google, because you're going to find a lot of them. He was out there with the crowd, championing the cause, saying, we are a Christian nation, and it's one man and one woman, and that is what the Lord ordained, and all that. And I am not for this rights for homosexual people. It is wrong, and all this. Them preach. They get on the soapbox. They make their voices heard. They use their powerful positions to hold these people down, all the while and living the same lifestyle under quiet. Even went as far as to have children in that lifestyle and a wife in that lifestyle. And enough of the time, the wife don't even know. Oh, you working late again, honey? Well, my husband is very dedicated to what he does. He takes weekend trips all the time because he got to speak at this conference. No, he left for his boyfriend. It was him and his boyfriend weekend out. They went on a boat. They went sailing, Come on, we had one in Florida just now. I forgot what his name was. He was actually the governor or the mayor of Tallahassee. Andrew Gilliam. Go look him up. Andrew Gilliam. I did the whole thing about, I followed his whole story in about 3 videos on my other channel on SouFLoTV. See, you see the big tough muscle man with this man in a room with. You see the big tough muscle man with this man in a room with. And had everybody on his side. The capital of Florida is Tallahassee. He already made it to the mayor of Tallahassee. He was about to be the governor of the state of Florida, and he would have created great history because he would have been the first black man to do that. And to govern Florida, the state of Florida, after being the mayor of the capital of that state, it would have been a good look. Until I got videos on Parental TV with even the pictures of how the room was found. And trust me, some of the sheet them, some of the stuff I joke about all the time, like how you come in and you know, so why you cheat because you wonder why your towel, your face towel in a bathroom looks up like it's shaped like a cone shape like that. Because something dry up on it. And these kind of man beat up your wife and go in there, go wipe off him something and I disrespectfully wash in front of in your sink and leave. We've had those conversations. If you look at the pictures in the room, not to mention they found him vomiting, passed out. Round the sun never look good. The sheet them on the bed never look good. You understand? Feces and all them things there everywhere. And this is a man that from this high up in society to take that kind of fall. So a lot of people that live that kind of life there and come out and bun this and bun that. It's just like the Jamaican man them talk about, oh, no girl can't sit down for my face and oh, man, put them out on the desk and oh, when you talk pussy, any boy do that for dead girl, you can't have a drink after my drink. And ask their women, ask the women that have been with them. I already knew that there was kind of a disparity between the two. Like, how come all them women here say, you know, them get that all the time? I don't know nothing that for them get it every time from anyone them do it. But the whole of them and them I said them not do that. So who I do it to them? Are they flying people in from other places to do this and then fly back out? Or these ladies leaving the island to go somewhere else to go get this done? Or yeah? And then the same people them that use their position for bust blank and bust a shot in a boy head and the boy post the boy and that violent kind of, and you're doing the same thing, man. You're advocating death and destruction from people when do the same thing where you did there do. Here what? I prefer the people, let me say. I prefer a man come and be like, look, I am not into females, okay? I go, a man, I'm a thing. And me not care if I'm feminine, I feel business that. He did not deceive anybody. He did not take a woman down that road and then have picnic with her. And now the poor little picnic them, I go grow up confused thinking, damn, my dad left my mom for a man. And then later, daddy I try to explain to them about I was always that way. Also, we were just your front. You see, this could never come out right after that. It could never come out right after that. This is resentment for life. So before you go down that rabbit hole trying to, oh, what tangled web we weave, when first we practice to deceive, before you go down that road, come out and live your true life, man. You make the rest of we be able to say, okay, me know that. Or where some of that. Right? Then you draw some woman in and you sweet her up and she's like, oh my God, my husband is everything, or my fiance is everything. I'm gonna marry him, girl. Me I tell you that this is the one. And you know she's in heaven. And then she's confronted with this. Big long bamboo bigger than your own, rest on the side of your face. Our husband that. Like, how you do that? How you do that? You know what I said? Verda said, go on so slow, you're full of drama. But a true thing me I talk, Verda, a real life thing. Yeah, a real life thing. Jano, them hide enough and call you all kind of name and say, Yo, big up to all of the people that will live them true self. You hear that? Me not have nothing to do with you as far as me have anything against you. In the US, I work in the health field. When I take a contract, and I've worked with alongside other therapists, nurses, even the doctors, and I've seen them there. And then one time we're not treating patients, and we go into the lounge where it's medical staff only. If you hear them conversation, they were in there, man, graphic enough. And them in there, one of the girls that I talk about, girl, me tell you about this one time he threw my leg up like this. Me say, okay, time for me to go to the bathroom, or time for me to go to the next room. Or if you're in there and you're doing your patient notes, them thing you fly around. For those of you who work in this kind of environment, you know what me I say. I can't get up and talk about, yo, man, a yard man around us, so yo, done them talk there. Yo, all you nasty self funded. I can't do that. So I would be a hypocrite to be like, man, I start mingling with them people there. I'm gonna do that. You work right alongside those people. Right? I don't judge them. I don't care about their lifestyle. I don't care enough to judge. Put it that way. I don't care enough to judge. I mean, say live and let live. And you got to think about how much better Earth would be if we just left people alone. As long as they're not hurting you and they're not hurting your loved ones, leave people alone. Leave people alone. Me or man say, yo, me getting an accident on me that I need mouth to mouth. Yo, if a boy ever, when name they say that, if a boy ever, you see when him resuscitate me, shot that loud and go. Can't put him up, make me dead. And it sounds funny when they're saying it, but them dead serious. And they're dead serious until they are in that position. And life got a real funny way of bringing you into some things where you think you never did ever reach enough and be dependent upon some people you thought you would never have to ask for help or need help from. And you see them one day they talk about, oh God, I'm alive. Thank you, Jesus. Thank God, me make it. Oh, somebody save me. I see a man over there, so with them lipstick. I see him lipstick rub up by your mouth. They might talk about, yeah, I saved you. I saved you. You can say thank you. You can say thank you. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna stop saying he saved you? You're not gonna say thank you. You're not gonna say thank you. Y'all think but if they ever wake up and see and find out say that yo, me shot that tonight, hey, make me dead. Yeah man, well extra. Well extra till it reach you. You want anybody save you. A drowning man grab at straws. When you stand up on the side of the lake, you know say one straw can't save you. Make your heart start to drown and see. If you don't believe that the straw can really save you, you grab at anything. All the straw, the one straw, is a prayer and a straw there. And you hope God make a straw there long enough, float enough to save you. You don't want to drown. You don't want to die. You see? Nature man said, nah, get away from me. Yeah, you say get away from me until you're, God forbid, until you're messed up somewhere, bleeding out, and you need, you know what I'm saying? And then you find out who saved you. It's easy to say now until you reach another predicament there. You see? Yeah, I saved you. You ain't gonna say thank you. You know them smack. Yeah. You ain't gonna say thank you. I saved you. Inside of me would I want to fight. I would want to fight. But I would be thankful for life. Life are the greatest. You hear that? Life is the greatest. Let me close this video out this morning by saying this. You know what I mean? Life are the greatest. My grandmother lose her leg, right? My grandmother lose her leg. My grandmother my grandmother have the most joke. My grandmother you call and she's like, them gone with me footing up. Them gone with me one me footing up. And these things. I'm like, she talking, I'm like, oh, this lady. She said, I'm not ready for that yet though. You know? So it better the leg than my life. Life, the greatest teacher. I learned from my own experiences, from watching my children closely, and from those around me that I love that are close to me. Life are the greatest. You know want death. That big man that you call Batman, you wouldn't care if him slap down your face as long as him save your life. Me, I tell you that. You understand? And I'm not giving you a choice before. I want to put you in that situation and see what you would have said after. When they did, I thought about, oh my God, I'm so thankful to be alive. And they point over there and said, well, thank him because he's the one that saved you. His mouth to mouth saved your life. Y'all talk about, no, get away from me. No, life are the greatest. You hear that? All right. Remember this. Life is the greatest. The richest of richest person would give away every dollar, every dime, everything. Once they get sick and they realize ain't no cure for what you have. Understand? They will spend every dollar, every dime trying to get health back. So no money and none of that prejudice against other people and choosing who saves you from who doesn't. You have that luxury now. You have that luxury now. But when you're in that position, life, the greatest teacher is life. Okay? The greatest thing is life. Remember that. We're going to leave it right there. So have a wonderful weekend. It's the weekend. I want you to go out there and be safe, man. For some reason, enough people, a lot of crazy things happen on the weekends. Who are going to have unprotected sex with a stranger and end up at clinic next week? Them usually do it on the weekend because they've been out all week working and them feel like them can let them guard down this weekend, get a little bit drunk and do some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to go drive too fast and crash or mash up? Them normally do it on the weekend. Stay safe. Stay safe. Mask up. Mask up in a big crowds. Stay safe. I say stay in your vehicle, mask up. And for those of you double masking and wearing masks while you're locked up inside of your vehicle, stop killing yourself. That's not what it is. I feel the need to say that because I'm driving around Florida and I'm seeing this. I'm see the big Jamaican flag them on the car or inside of the car thing I hang up. So I feel the need to say this. It might be one of your family members. Please tell them, say auntie or uncle or grandma or daddy, it's okay. You're in the car, is you alone in there, you can take off the mask. When you get to where you go and you put your mask on. Okay, if you're going to be around people and you don't know them and they put your mask on. But them a drive around in the car, windows up, and them have on 2 masks, them in there dead. Don't do it. You're killing yourself. All right, so have a safe weekend, people. Surround yourself with people that love you. Surround yourself with people that you love. Surround yourself with people that uplift your vibration. And if you're between the ages of 30 and 50 or older, then don't do the turn-up thing and party and clothes and shoes if you have not accomplished other things yet, like investments, business, partnership, committed relationships, and these things. All right? I'm out.
You forgot to have an appointment?
Yeah.
We have an appointment.
Yes, babe. Welcome. All right, so we have an appointment this morning, and I'm gonna get out of here because you know some love talk too, and I could go on and on forever. So what I'll go on today is the security people that are coming, and they're going to wife it up coming there. The security people are gonna be here, and they're going to be setting up cameras all over the house and them thing there. And I said, I want to catch my wife. I do nothing when I'm not home. It's just that I don't want my family to be, you know what I'm saying? So cameras are going everywhere inside and out today, and they should be here shortly. Mirrors clock in 10 minutes. I'm out. Peace. Babe, boy, you never tell me, say 10 minutes left.